Hey guys, welcome to the Cosmic Panel, and we're really excited to announce that we're getting a sponsorship with this company called Orcus. Maybe you haven't heard of them, but they've been recently promising to send us a batch of Nimrod plushies. If you didn't know, Nimrod is this really cool robot, really friendly to humans, really loves everyone, and is really kid friendly. We're excited to be promoting these plushies, and all the funds go again to the Liberation Against Mutants Front. So support your Orcus Foundation today and get a Nimrod plushie.
Catchphrases that the Nimrod plushie says include "I love you," "Have an amazing day," and "Die mutant scum." So be sure to pick up your Nimrod plushie. Thanks again to Orcus for sponsoring this video.
Hey guys, welcome to the Cosmic Panel, where today we're going to be doing weekly polls for August 9th. Elias, what's your first pick?
All right, so my first pick for this week is going to be World's Finest Teen Titans #2. First issue was pretty fun. This is sort of a, I would say, beginner-friendly Teen Titans book. It really does, give you the vibes of the original Titans, and they're assembling for the first time, I would say. So if you're looking for a Titans book to hop onto, this is definitely the book to pick. I'm very curious who the shadowy figure was at the end of the first issue, and so I'm excited to find out who that is. Keep reading.
No, definitely. I'm definitely excited also. Also, I do love the interaction between Robin and the rest of the teammates, especially because everyone else has given up their identity except for him, because Batman has not allowed him to. Batman said he's not allowed to, so therefore Dick has not been allowed to give his identity out. And I think it's very interesting to see in early Batman and Robin where Dick kind of has to follow Batman's orders, because we know Dick as his own person now. He's been Nightwing for more years than he probably... Not more than he has been Robin, but at least a decent chunk of time. So... we've known him as Robin, at least me and Elias definitely have, for all our lives. So to see him kind of go back to that, kind of have to follow Batman is very interesting. And seeing this like friendship kind of build up between the Teen Titans is really cool.
Yeah, definitely. I got high hopes for this book. First issue was a little more tame, but hopefully it'll build up a little bit. So looking forward.
Yeah. Next up for me is the Avengers #4. Last issue we had an awesome time setting up the characters. We were kind of setting up their matches. I'm excited for this. A lot of the newer characters of the Ashen Combine are really interesting. And we're going to be starting off with Lord Enu, the City Smith. At least from the cover, from what I can tell, that's going to be our start. It's going to be him and Iron Man fighting each other, which should be very interesting. But yeah, we have Idol Alabaster, the Dead, Meridian Diadem, Lord Enu, the City Smith. So interesting characters. Each of them have their own distinct personality. I'm excited to see, though, the City Smith. Definitely, especially because of how horrific it looked like he was treating the citizens in the city. So I'm excited to see them get their comeuppance. And Black Panther and Sam are going at the actual city of the Ashen Combine, their little ship. So we'll have to see what happens there.
The ship was the narrator for all of issue 3, which is interesting. And basically at the end of the issue, they're hinting some reveal of who this main person is that's been narrating, basically. So, yeah, very interesting. Starting to get some, new characters from Jed and new threats for the Avengers. So, very interesting.
Yeah, it was a lot of setup, but I feel like this is really going to be the issue that pays off on that. And, I mean, I'm always down for setup if it pays off. And Jed, as far as I've read his stuff, has always at least paid off all his setup. If he sets up something, you usually know that he will eventually get around to doing that. So him kind of going all in on this Avengers run, really setting up a bunch of brand new characters. I kind of love that we're not getting old characters remastered or retreading old ground. This is a new threat with a new team, and so it feels very fresh.
Definitely. Next up for me is Danger Street #8. Hoping for a little more of this issue. Tom King has become a master at ending an issue right before something happens. Uh, Lady Cop was literally just sitting in that office waiting for a meeting for a whole day. So that kind of sucked. But I guess now, because the 7th issue was a bit of a time jump, this issue is going to go back a little bit, maybe. But yeah, we're nearing the 3rd quarter of the story, so hoping for some cool reveals, and yeah, very curious to read this issue.
Yeah, last issue ended with Warlord and one of the Danger Street kids basically just one of the dingbats basically hanging out in the prison cell. I really thought it was going to end with them breaking him out, but they didn't, surprisingly enough. But apparently that's the plan for this issue, is for them to be broken out. I'm excited to see where this goes. Apparently we're also going to be getting the origin of Green Team and Outsiders, so finally going to be getting explanation on both of those, on top of the fact that Assassin is going to be going after Manhunter.
Well, that's good.
So a lot of fun plot developments, but no, I definitely agree. We gotta start cooking. We gotta start knowing what this major threat is. I need to know what it is, because it's been too long since we've had that established, and I want to know why is Darkseid and Highfather so concerned? Why is Highfather pushing himself to keep this at bay? Why is Darkseid willing to sacrifice everything just to stop this threat, basically?
Yeah, basically the most interesting part of last issue, I think, was Orion basically just giving up and realizing that he failed, and that there's nothing to stop the sky from falling supposedly anymore.
Yeah, I was generally surprised that he did that, because I was like, oh, like, I was not expecting Orion to be the type to do that. So I don't know if it felt out of character, but it really felt like, man, this threat must be huge for him to feel that powerless against.
Yeah, he's definitely an interesting character. He's got a lot of complexities, so I always enjoy reading him. Anyway, what's up next for you?
Next up for me is Barnstormers, number 2. Barnstormers was fun, written by Scott Snyder. So, if you guys don't know, prolific comicsology writer for a long time, and prolific Batman writer. But basically, this is a pretty down-to-earth story, nothing too crazy. It's basically about a World War One pilot that basically is running away from the Pinkertons with one of their runaway brides, and basically they're trying to get away as far as possible. There were some hints to some darker stuff. Not exactly sure, there might be a monster or something, but everything else outside of that seemed really realistic. Very interesting portrayal. A lot of comedy. One of the main character lands at a wedding with a plane, thinking that everyone's there because they got news that he was gonna be a famous pilot arriving in their town, when it was actually him crashing into their wedding, which was pretty hilarious. So I'm excited to see where this goes.
Interesting. I didn't know what to expect at all with a title like Barnstormers. So, but this is an old story. You're saying that's now just getting print.
Yeah, basically. I haven't read this story before, so this is getting published by Dark Horse. Comixology is beginning to shut down, I believe, and so they're publishing all the online books into actual physical format so that it's not lost forever. Okay. And a lot of them were Scott Snyder, because he signed a exclusive deal with them for a while.
Okay, gotcha.
So Clear was him, this is him, but both of those were both Comixology originals. So,
right.
So yeah, so it's interesting. The reason why they do explain the name Barnstormers, the reason why it's called Barnstormers, is because you literally leave your plane in the barn, and then when you're getting it out, you literally kick down the doors to leave.
Okay.
To like open the barn doors so that you can leave. So that's why it's called Barnstormers, because literally to get your plane out of the way, you have to literally storm out of a barn.
Huh.
Yeah, I know. It's
Gotcha.
very on the nose. Yeah. But it's cool. It's a good story.
Cool. Next up for me is Ghost Rider Wolverine Weapons of Vengeance Alpha number 1. I'm excited for this series because Wolverine mysteriously appeared in a very early issue of Ghost Rider. With the exception of that, Ghost Rider has really been a series without many ties to the main Marvel Universe, I would say. It's sort of been isolated, incidents and adventures and stuff. So this is going to hopefully go into that a little bit. Talk about how Wolverine ended up at that race. Yeah, basically, you read the Ghost Rider issue, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
The only thing that seemingly sets this event up is at the very end of the issue, a dark and shadowy figure approached a government official and was like, not a government official, but an official who was part of the Infernal Labs stuff, and was like, we're starting a new Weapons Plus program.
Yes, that was it.
So this is going to be interesting. Basically, going to see how they try and develop the Weapons Plus program into more of a mystical or supernatural side of things to try and hurt Wolverine and Ghost Rider. So this is a classic team up. I love to see these guys on this page together. And hoping for some good things here.
Do we know if Hellfire can melt adamantium? Is that a thing?
That is a good question. I am unsure.
Huh. Because that's really an interesting question, I feel like. But this is going to be fun. Benjamin Percy's writing this. He wrote both of the Wolverine and the Ghost Rider books, so he obviously has a handle on both of them. So yeah, I'm hyped.
And I tried. I love Wolverine, so I'm just really excited to get some more Wolverine action because I, haven't been reading the Age of Krakoa stuff, but I did pick up his, current ongoing volume. I picked up quite a few of the first issues, and then just inevitably fell off because it started connecting to X-Force and 20 other things. So
yeah,
this is my opportunity to get back into Wolverine, so I'm excited.
Yeah, no, this will be fun. Plus, this is an alpha, so I'm wondering how long this is going to go.
It's just going to kind of bounce back and forth between their books just like a couple times, and then there's also going to be an Omega. So just cool. It's a small event, but yeah, I got high hopes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Next up for me is Children of the Vault number 1. This has been a threat that we've been really setting up since the beginning of the series, honestly. We've had this set up since Hickman and Jerry Duggan's X-Men series. Children of the Vault, if you don't know, is basically just humans that have quite literally evolved. It been experimented on, basically have been evolved at a higher rate through technology to basically kill mutants. And so the Vault was basically a time-displaced little container where humans were put in, and millions of years happened within seconds. So last time we experienced anything from that, it was basically Forge going in and making sure that they're all still under Krakoa tech, which had been simulating a universe for them to take over. Basically confirming that they would have killed everyone if they got free. They're that powerful. So now the question is, now that tech turned off, what's to stop them from literally killing everyone? We already have so many people on the fences now with the whole Fall of X and Hellfire Gala. So my hope, personally, is not that they're going after the mutants, but I think it would be really interesting if they get angry that Orcus has stolen their thunder and go after Orcus.
That's precisely what I'm hoping for out of this event. The last thing the mutants need right now is
more threats.
More people kicking their asses. So hopefully it'll be a little more nuanced than that. Yeah, I hope they get into some cool Orcus fights and stuff like that, because these guys are just super fucking powerful. And as far as I know, Orcus is unaware of them, right?
Yeah, they haven't really deep dived into any of them or anything like that. Also, the weird thing is, like, what is the difference between a mutant and these guys? Like, genuinely, like, these guys are literally just evolved with tech, but, like, they still have, like, almost similar-esque mutant powers. So it becomes hypocritical. I wonder if Orcus is going to attack them, maybe, because they view them as mutants.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't recognize this creative team, but hopefully they got some cool plans. And
Yeah. Excited.
Next up for me is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy number 5. Issue 4, I really, really enjoyed. We got just some quality one-on-one time with Rocket to show kind of how far he's fallen since losing Groot. And he created a robot version of, Groot, which was pretty sad. And he basically was just protecting this one planet only for... I just thought this was such a cool twist. Basically, they show that a cult following has come of this Grootfall event, and they think that this is the natural way of things, and so they come to Rocket's planet, they destroy his, rail system, and Groot just destroys his planet, and it's pretty dramatic, pretty heartbreaking issue, but yeah, really amazing. So issue 5 here is gonna explain more and more about Grootfall, so I have high hopes for this issue, and yeah.
But who are the gods, though?
I knew you were going to fucking say that. Real quick, we at the Cosmic Panel want to shout out Hickman's Gods preview in the Moon Knight issue.
Oh my god. So fucking stupid.
I'll throw up this page right now, and everyone can enjoy it. Shouldn't take you too long, hopefully, to read it.
We know it's wordy.
Yeah. Some of the Gods tie-ins actually have to do with the story, and you can see that they worked together with Hickman to do it, but some of them are just... Yeah.
You can see they finally took him off credits for the stuff, so I guess he's not getting free credits anymore in the bibliography pages. But yeah, outside of that though, last issue was phenomenal. I really loved it. I love that they picked Rocket up. I really want to know what happened. Why did Rocket leave them? And this cover is insane. Wow, Groot has never looked more menacing.
Yeah, the covers have been amazing. No, I like the interiors. It's just a different vibe for a Guardians book, I feel like.
Yeah.
It feels almost like a little more...
Lone Ranger-esque.
Sure, yeah.
Next up for me, Spirit World number 4. This series just keeps chugging along. And last issue was phenomenal. We finally got everyone back together. Cass Kane, Batgirl is back with Constantine and Xanth, and they're now going to be fighting against this weird spider lady. But it's cool that they're referencing stuff where it's like Cassandra has been revived by the Lazarus Pit, therefore she's been to this afterlife. I love that Constantine, apparently his memories are going to start fading, so he's going to be turning on Xanth. So it's pretty interesting that all this is happening, and this is really Xanth's first book, and yet they're really so personable and so interesting that they can carry the book even with big personalities like Cassandra Cain and Constantine right next to them.
Most definitely. And it just shows you when you write a character genuinely and like a real human person, you just get so much more connectivity with the fans.
Yeah.
And the readers. And Xanth has just been characterized very well, I think.
Yeah, like that second issue, or was it the second issue? Yes, the second issue where they went back to their mom's house, their parents' place, was heartbreaking, but gave so much depth to Xanth's character and why they were the way they are. But yeah, no, phenomenal story. I've been loving the action scenes, been loving the art. I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, very strong. All right. That brings me to my final pick of this week. Between the two of us, we have all the X-related books. Once again, just proving that I will be reading every Fall of X book. Mortal X-Men number 14 is my final pick for this week. I'm very curious to see what they're going to cover this issue. Just taking it to Charles and just exploring his grief, I guess. Hopefully they have something cool to develop. All the follow-ups to Fall of X have been moving the story along so far, so yeah. Also,
I will say, I don't know if this was on purpose, but I feel like this cover kind of pays homage to Planet of the Apes, like the grand reveal in the end with the
Yeah, a little
beach
bit.
and the Statue of Liberty, but instead it's a Sentinel this time. I'm really interested to see Charles kind of reflect on what led to this. Because everything that happened could have been easily prevented. It could have all been easily prevented if just a couple things changed, if certain characters had just paid more attention, if certain characters had just followed what they actually believed in. And I love the saying from the last issue where it was Charles basically saying that I never believed in this separatist society idea, but I'm now the only one still left, so I have to believe in it. And it's him not believing in those ideals truly that I feel like led to the fall of X.
Right.
So, also, I
Yeah.
want to know what happened to Doug.
Yeah, I'm sure he's nice and safe right now
Yeah.
compared to everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the island, so the only way that they can get him is if Krakoa lets him go, which I don't know
They
if they
don't.
will.
They don't even know that. Like Orcus doesn't even know that he's in there. So I think he's chilling at the moment. But yeah, hopefully we do get an answer to that.
Yeah.
What is your final pick?
So, my final pick is Swan Songs number 2. First issue was phenomenal. Truly beautiful. I read it twice. The art by Martin Simmons was amazing. If you don't know, you might recognize their work from Department of Truth. But on top of that, the writing from Maxwell Prince, who writes Ice Cream Man, was amazing. Just a simple story about the end of the world and a son trying to make sure that his mom dies peacefully, passes away before the world goes to absolute chaos. And it's him navigating the city, trying to avoid all these different things just to get a simple thing such as a flower book. Really heartwarming, really beautiful. And this issue, we're going to be having the artist from Homesick Pilots, which is another phenomenal artist. Casper Wondergaard did also, All Against All. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
They did All Against All, which was a phenomenally drawn and colored series. The art, like the story was fine, but the art carried it easily. The art was gorgeous. So I'm excited to see where this goes. But yeah.
I'm a little concerned that nothing is going to top the first issue. It was just such a beautiful and emotional issue. It was just so good. But yeah, I hope this issue continues the trend of just strong short stories with lovely art. Really cool concept for a book, and excited to see it progress.
That might be one of my favorite starting issues in a while. It was
Big
so
time.
good. Like, just also the ominous clock the entire issue. You're just like realizing that it's counting down. You're just like, I don't know what's going to happen. And then it ends right when it counts down.
No, it was crazy.
So well done.
Yeah.
If you like this, I still highly recommend reading Ice Cream Man. Ice Cream Man is one of Maxwell's most consistent series. He writes, I believe, every single issue in that series too. And every issue is just he's very good at anthology series. That's the best way to put it.
Okay, bet. Good.
So,
we want to thank Orcus once again for sponsoring this video.
enter the code Cosmic Panel to get your Nimrod plushie, plus a Nimrod Slurpee for 15% off.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Remember to like, subscribe, support your local comic shop, and read comics. Die, mutant scum!